Welcome to the glute workout. I have been training glutes for probably 10 years now, and I have been modifying, tweaking, testing out different exercises, and let me say, these are my go-to for glutes. All right, for exercise 1, I do have Smith machine hip thrusts. So Smith machine hip thrusts are one of my favorite variations for hip thrusts because I can go my heaviest on the Smith machine. So my setup here is my gym does have a Smith machine bench, which I love, and it makes everything so convenient. But if you don't have one, you can just use a regular bench that is about knee height and put that parallel to the bar. And I do have my hip thrust pad. My number one tip for hip thrusts is to challenge your weight. Like, don't be afraid to go heavy. But if you can't feel it properly in your glutes, take a step back. It's better to do light weight that feels intense than intense weight that you can't feel because it's too heavy and you're not moving it properly. Okay, exercise number 2 is a single leg elevated reverse lunge on the Smith machine. So you could see here I did stack my boxes so that when I am reversing, I am bringing my knee past down to that. So it's a really great range of motion here. I am still trying to keep my chest up and kind of sit back into my glute. So I am pushing back off of my heel to really target my glutes. And I am giving like a nice squeeze at the top, but I'm not like overextending my back crazy and taking the tension off of my leg. So a tip here is you probably want to build your weight up. I am trying to get stronger with these, but to be honest, I want to feel it in my glute. So I'm using weights that are still challenging for me, but I can still feel it in my glute. So I did also film a front angle for you guys so that you can see it from here. So like my foot is very stable, my knee is very stable, and I'm really just trying to keep all that tension in my glute by kind of sitting back into my lunge. And my chest is staying up. Okay, the third exercise is the hip abductor machine that they have at my gym. And this one is like kind of a variation of it. You can see that I am like strapped into the seat, which I do like, because I can focus on pushing my hips almost up as if I was like thinking about a hip thrust while I'm using this machine, but also pushing down with the heels of my feet while I'm using it. I would love to get stronger on this machine too, but I do use weights where I can really feel it in my hip abductor, and it does create like a really nice burn. All right, fourth exercise. So my gym just got this machine, so I am still getting used to it. The machine itself is very heavy. Also, this is a Bulgarian split squat on the machine. So the machine itself is very heavy. I can feel it in my glutes by just sticking to a weight that's like still really challenging, but I am trying to sit back into my heel and push up through my heel. But there's so many different Bulgarian split squat variations that you can try out. Here I'm just trying this new machine, which I do like. It's definitely really challenging. Okay, so for my fifth exercise, I guess I would call this like a pit shark deadlift variation. So when I first started going to this gym, I was so intrigued with the pit shark, and I would try to use it with the belt, and it just did not feel right on my lower back. So I played around with it so much, and I figured out this exercise. So I'm using a double handle attachment, and I have it hooked onto the machine, and I'm almost setting up my form as if I was doing a barbell deadlift. I don't do those anymore, but this feels like it, and oh my gosh, glute burn. Okay, so sixth and last exercise. So this is a single leg glute kickback machine. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this machine. Sometimes I skip it, but I always try to tell myself, like, just do it, Emily, because sometimes it does feel really good. I just have to make sure I'm not going too light or too heavy with my weight, and that I really am focusing on pushing off with the heel of my foot, which you can see in the video. I do kickbacks on the cable machine. And this has a slightly different feel to it, but if you don't have this machine, you could do kickbacks on the cable machine, honestly. Okay, so please let me know your favorite glute exercise so that maybe I can try it out, because I am always trying to figure out like what are the best glute exercises. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.